Flagstaff. Where you at, Flagstaff? My man Dennis, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Great to meet you.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. So during the interview, I'm going to be introducing a song or two, and we won't stop to play the song. We'll just keep going. I just want to let you know. So anyway, Jon Batiste on KVNA. So good to see you, Jon. Congratulations on your great new album, World Music Radio. So much fun to listen to.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for having me, Dennis. I'm so glad to share this music with the world.
Now, should I call you Billy Bob?
Oh yeah, Billy Bob Bo Bob.
I
you
love the
know,
fact that that you've made it into a radio station. I mean, it's so relatable to me, and like a good radio station has all kinds of styles of music in it. You have a call-in contest. It's like loads of fun to listen to over and over again. I love it.
oh my goodness. And I will say that the call-in contest, the song is called Call Now, and there's a number. That's a real number.
Oh.
You call that number and you text that number, you'll reach me and sometimes Billy Bob Bo Bob.
That's incredible. So tell us a little bit about the making of the record. I'd love to hear about how it all came about.
Oh my goodness. I was in this really new phase of my life. It was like a change of a season. I had just gotten married, had great success, and we'd also gone through some really tough personal struggles with my wife's health, and we'd come out of that. And I just left the show with my friend Steven and the band, who
Yeah.
I've been on the show with in the trenches for 7 years on television every night.
I know.
So, all of these things changed in my life at this time.
Yeah.
Where it was this huge shift, and I had this sort of artistic epiphany of continuing my quest to really make genreless music that promotes radical love and promotes radical oneness of humanity, and really is about liberating people from marginalizing ourselves and getting in our own way. It's really a metaphor. The music is a metaphor for so much. And what that meant is I had to go to a space where I could just create freely, and musicians were coming in and out of the studio, artists, writers, producers, engineers. For a month is how I started in Malibu at Rick Rubin's famed studio, Shangri-La.
Oh yeah.
And I was there for a month, and I was creating, and no less than 100 songs came from this first month. And even the last 5 songs of the album were created in this period of time. So it was really just this artistic epiphany, which it happened at the same time as I was writing my first symphony, and these things were happening at the same time.
Wow. Wow. And you collaborated with a lot of different artists on this record.
Oh, yes.
Incredible.
It was like the stars were aligning in such an incredible way. And that's when it's time to make an album, when things are just happening in this way, this creative flow is going. We were working on the songs at Shangri-La, and Lana Del Rey would come by and hang out socially, and she was finishing her album. So then I was helping her with her album. Eventually it just came organically to be that. And then that turned into, her doing songs, and one of them ending up on World Music Radio on my album.
That's great.
That's one story of many. I mean, whether it's Kenny G or Lil Wayne, the range of collaborators. I even discovered this incredible Catalonian vocalist and singer named Rita Paez, unsigned, and early 21 years old, and just this amazing artist that I also in the process of making this album discovered. And now she's on the song My Heart, and gave me the opportunity to sing a Catalonian lyric. And
wow.
My household is 4 different languages, so it was a great way for me to, people don't know that about me. I love that singing in different languages is something that you hear on this album.
That's great. Well, let's play a song from the album right now. Let's see, what should I play? How about Master Power? That's a great song. Let's play it now on KVNA. Jon Batiste. So we're with Jon Batiste here on KVNA. Jon, so great to see you. I was introduced to you watching that great HBO series, Treme. I loved that show, and it was so great to see you there. And then when you went on to the Late Show with Stephen Colbert, with the band Stay Human. What a hot band that was. I mean, phew, it was so much fun. And I just loved watching you play the keys because you look so comfortable. You make it look so effortless, and the way your long fingers can just glide across the keys and just make everything sound so beautiful. It's amazing.
Spider on the keys. Oh yeah,
And then you put it's the harmonium. Is that what that little instrument
yeah.
is called? Yeah, Steve.
Harmonica board, harmonica and keyboard put together.
Yeah. Yeah. So Stevie Wonder used to play that. And Stevie Wonder was my one of my spiritual advisors back in the 70s. His albums were like, so meaningful to me. And I think the same is true of your music. It's so inspiring for today's generation to, put that on and just get totally inspired. It's incredible.
Oh yeah, Stevie, thank you so much. That's one of my heroes and
Yeah.
friends, and has been someone who is really just inspired so many of us, and myself included. And I find that my music is definitely in that lineage of really wanting to express the deeper, more uplifting qualities of our shared humanity. We're all the same. We're born the same. How do we return to that place? How do we connect to that frequency? And that's
Yeah.
us at our highest frequency. That's us
Mm,
as one. And I really believe in that. And that's really something that, believe it or not, it's disruptive today. It's counterculture today. It's punk to
yeah.
talk about, radical oneness and that kind of genreless, limitless creativity as a allegory for life.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's incredible. Well, you have such a positive influence on everyone around you. When you come into a room, you light the room up. I mean, it's just your presence just brings light into the room. And I saw that in the film that you did, Soul. It's an amazing, amazing film. And I could just feel your spirit in that film. It's incredible.
Oh, thank you very much. We really did put our heart and soul into that film. In
Yeah.
fact, Pete Docter, who was the director, we were out to dinner last night. Funny you mentioned that, because we're talking about it, and just the idea of making something like that. It was such a radical thing, and we all hands on deck to try to make it as palatable as possible. But you're dealing with themes in that film that are just,
Wow. I
and
know.
it,
Amazing.
yeah, I really was, you could tell a lot of me was uh put into that.
Yeah, it's incredible. Well, you've done so many great things. You're involved in so many great charities. I mean, you just a wonderful human being. Uh, Growing up in New Orleans, I mean, I've always had such a great time coming to New Orleans. I was there for Mardi Gras several years at the top of Bourbon Street at midnight when the police are trying to get everybody off the streets. And I know that for many people, Mardi Gras in New Orleans is a party atmosphere, but for me, I have always looked at it as a spiritual experience. I think there's a lot of depth that goes on in the whole culture of that lifestyle in New Orleans.
Whew. Oh man, it's deep. It goes so deep.
Yeah.
It's a lineage of really great people, great thinkers, great cultural inventors,
Yeah.
great spiritual leaders.
Mm.
It's a deep and profound cultural inheritance for anyone born into that, and anyone who is able to go down and partake in that. It's a beautiful thing that is a part of our country's history and narrative, and it's way more than just a party. And I think people
No
to
kidding.
connect to it, people who connect to it and understand it are so enriched by it. And it really is, New Orleans is always one of the foundations of my artistry and my message.
Well, you exemplify it in the way that you live and the way that you are, and you're so positive and so deep at the same time. It's incredible. And we love your music. We love you, Jon. It's so great to have you here on the station with us here at KVNA.
Oh my goodness. I'm so grateful to be. I can't wait to see you in person when we come to town.
All right, absolutely. And I want to close out with that song with Lana Del Rey that closes out your album because it's such a beautiful song, Life Lessons. Let's listen to it now. Jon Batiste, thanks so much for coming on KVNA today.
Woo!
Thank you so much, Jon. Love you.
Thank you, brother. Have a great one.